So I was thinking about something the other day, and I had this conversation with Cooper. And the whole premise of this conversation was this: there are no limitations that we have that we don't already impose on ourselves. The only limitations that we have in our lives are the ones that we impose on ourselves. Now let me explain. Now, we were walking through Dolly Parton's theme park the other day, Dollywood, and I hate theme parks. I'm not going to lie, so none of this was to say that I was enjoying myself. But the biggest thing that I took away on this whole day was I'm walking around looking at these big roller coasters, these extravagant buildings. The grounds were beautiful, the flowers, everything, the train, everything was just beautiful. And I started thinking, this whole place happened because one person had a thought in her mind about what she wanted to make happen. And at one moment, this was just a thought, and now it's manifested into a reality. And I think this is so significant because there's so many times, there's so many things that I see when I look at humanity and I look at people and how far all of us, including me, are from reaching our full potential. I often think I'm like, my worst nightmare is at the end of my life, if God was to introduce me to the man that I was supposed to become, the man whose potential I could have been if I would have just done this, or I would have just done that, or I would have just pushed myself or believed this for myself. I believe that our only limitations in life are the ones that we impose on ourselves. So part of this is, when we're kids, we grow up into adults. The way that I look at the world is different than the way that my son and my daughter looks at the world. And they're kids, I'm an adult. And I used to believe that when you grow up to be an adult, that's the pinnacle of knowledge and the pinnacle of wisdom. Until I got here and I start seeing people who are farther along than me. They have lives, they have things that I want for myself and for my family, and I start talking to them and I realize that they look at the world different than the way I look at the world. The things that they see when they look at a certain situation are different than the things that I see when I look at certain situations. And I think, well, how do I get that? And the reality is growth, human wisdom, human capability doesn't stop. It continues, but it's just like a muscle. You have to work it. You have to do things that are going to push it to get stronger. Your personality is the same way. Your wisdom is the same way. Your knowledge is the same way. It's just the perspectives that we have are things that constantly have to be tested, constantly have to be grown, and we have to do this by hanging around people and getting in rooms of people who are further along than us. Just like my kids are taking on a similar identity, they're learning about the world through me and through their mom, the people who they spend the most time around. The qualities that I have and the qualities that Ashton have are going to manifest in my kids. It's the same way for me. The rooms that I'm in, places where I spend the most amount of time, are the areas where are the people that I'm going to become the most like. This doesn't stop when we reach adulthood. Most adults, when we hit a place where we're 20, 30, 35, we stop learning. We stop pushing ourselves to learn new things and push ourselves to new limits, new lengths. And honestly, we're limiting our potential and we're limiting the things that ultimately we could achieve for our life, but the way that we could even pour into other people's lives. When we do great things, it doesn't just impact us, it impacts all the people around us, and then it impacts the people around them. It's not just become great, develop yourself more and more and more so that you can benefit. Other people benefit when you become great. Just like the whole Dollywood thing. Obviously, she reaps the reward of having all this, but the millions and millions of people that are reaping a reward far greater than even her, because at one point she had a dream that turned into a reality, it's astounding. So I wanted to encourage you guys. A lot of people don't even think about this. A lot of people don't even think that growth is something that they can control and become better and better and better. And honestly, it is just like working out. It's just like building a muscle. It's something that we have to develop over and over and over again. We have to pay attention, and we do it intentionally. The only complaint I have with Dollywood is they do not serve any adult beverages, which is almost required when you go into a theme park and they're asking you to spend that much money on popcorn and cotton candy. So I hope you guys are having a great 4th of July. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and we'll see you soon.